Hello lovelies, and welcome back to the Equestrian Manifestation Podcast, your one stop for all things horses, lifestyle, mindset, and all kinds of good things to help you create the equestrian life of your dreams. I know our intro is kind of cheesy, but I absolutely love it. Like, that's the whole point. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. You guys know, I have been workshopping the phrase, the ultimate equestrian cheerleader. I feel like that's where I'm headed at this point with the mare mentality. I'm like, yep, this is it. I'm just here to cheer you on. And the podcast is here for that as well. So I'm super excited to get into the episode today. It's gonna be a good one. It's something that I know I've personally had to work on and I'm currently working towards, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. So let's get into it. So with today's episode, I want to talk about, are you the person that's going to accomplish your goals? And I know that can be kind of hard to hear. You're like, what do you mean? Like, of course I'm the person that's going to accomplish my goals. They are my goals. And I know that some of you have seen bits and pieces of your success. You've seen snippets of what you're going to do. You've seen like, oh my gosh, like I got to ride this amazing horse. Or, oh my gosh, I went to show at this level. Or, oh my gosh, like I am seeing this tack brand all over. I have brands reaching out to me, or whatever your goal is as a rider and where you want to go with your riding journey. But I want you to ask yourself, am I the type of person that's going to accomplish those goals? I know I've been talking a lot about showing up as an authentic equestrian, and that was actually last week's episode, is showing up as an authentic equestrian. I guess not last week, but at time of recording this, it was last week. But what I want you to do is think about, are you the person that's going to accomplish your goals? Not in a, I'm the person who made the goals, I'm going to accomplish them, but am I the type of person who has the habits, the ability, the skill, the mindset to maintain that success, to maintain those goals, to be that individual? Because I'll be honest with you, the first time I asked myself, the answer was very clearly no. I was very much not the person who was going to accomplish those goals. It didn't matter that I had those goals and that I had a plan and that I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I did. I saw bits and pieces of that success. I saw snippets. I had people reaching out to me. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I blew it. Then it was gone because I didn't have the habits in place. I didn't have the mindset in place. I let myself be so captivated by fear and what if that I didn't take the leap. I literally could feel fear like on the back of my shirt, just like, and like I'm hanging off a cliff and I can take the leap. I can see it. I'm like, it's right there. Like all I have to do is drop and I'm going to land into my inevitable success. And I couldn't let go. I could not let go. And because I couldn't let go, I failed. I absolutely failed. And it hurt. It hurt to fail. I'll be honest with you, failure, it usually hurts. And sometimes it hurts physically, sometimes it hurts mentally, sometimes it hurts emotionally, but it hurt. I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I supposed to do this? Am I meant to be doing this? Even though it lights my soul on fire, even though it brings me so much joy, am I supposed to be sharing equestrian mindset? Am I really? Is that what I'm meant to do? Am I supposed to inspire and uplift equestrians? Am I supposed to educate others? Even though these are the things I love to do. These are the things that keep me up at night. I'm like, let's make new ideas and new things. Like, let's keep doing it. Am I supposed to do that? And it's when you let that fear, I let it crawl in and I let it sit and I let it rot. Honestly, I let fear just rot inside of me and I felt awful. Absolutely awful. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't make the investment. I can't, because let's face it, running things like a podcast and a website and making communities and courses, it takes time, it takes money, it takes effort. And I was like, I don't have that to invest. And instead of being like, you know what, I trust the universe. I know I work hard. I know I'm passionate. I know I can do things. I know I'm going to be successful. I let that fear just sink in and just soak in like a sponge. And it's an awful feeling to just feel like about those things that you're so passionate about. And I know some of you probably feel that way too. I know I felt that way for about a year. I sat with those feelings. And yes, I was doing other things. Yes, I had other goals. And maybe you met me during that time where I was sharing some of the things on my social media and exploring different avenues that I still enjoyed. But not like this. Not in the way where I feel so real and so authentic and so passionate that I smile. And it's like, it's not like this is a nervous smile. Like, I can sit here and I can do the podcast episode like this and be like, and you need to show up as your most authentic self, blah, 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 blah. Now, for those of you listening, then you can't see the difference, but I hope you can hear it. But for those of you watching the video, like, I smile. This brings me joy. I love it. And I had to accept the fact that I was not the person to accomplish those goals. Now, am I becoming that person? Yeah. I'm on a journey to become that person. I'm not there yet. I know I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. I'm well on my way to becoming that person. So I want you to take some time and I want you to think, am I that person? And if the answer is no, that's okay. The answer is no. Like I said, my answer was no, and it was no for a hot minute. And I kept asking the question, and the question was no. And I knew why it was no. I had this limiting belief that I was holding on to for dear life, and I wouldn't let go. So if you feel that way, I feel like I'm really stuck and I'm really holding on to this. Sometimes we've got to do a little inner work. Sometimes we got to be a little honest with ourselves and be like, I'm not that person. Oh, I forget this chair leans back, and then it like keeps going. One day you guys are just going to see me disappear. I'm going to lean back during a podcast episode and just wipe out. Hopefully today's not that day. So I want you to not just say, no, I'm not that person, but think about who that person is. Who's the type of person that accomplishes the goal that you want to have? How do they think? How do they feel? How do they live? Think about some weird random things. For me, it was like, what does their morning routine look like? I literally planned out the morning routine for the person I want to be, and I try to follow that morning routine. Does it happen every day? No. Are there things I want to add to it to make it better? Yes. But you start making these little changes and these little building blocks, and you just slowly start building this tower to become the person you want to be. And I know one day you'll look around and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. For me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm actually doing it. Like, I'm currently, it'll probably be out by the time this podcast comes out, but like, I made an equestrian community and a mindset course, and I'm coaching equestrians. And I'm using these certifications that I'm so passionate about, and these ideas that I absolutely love, that I've surrounded myself in for most of my life, whether intentionally or not, that bring me joy, that I absolutely love. And being able to slowly take those steps towards becoming that person, it's amazing. All of a sudden you're like, oh, these mindset things I've been working on and this goal setting, you can see how they all start kind of coming together and piecing together and becoming this life that you want to build. The whole point of the Equestrian Manifestation isn't to be like, all right, girlies, we're going to manifest some. No, like, yes, we are going to bring those things in, but sometimes we got to do some intentional work. Sometimes we got to have some honest moments. And yes, we have to trust the universe. And yes, we need to do the reflection work, but we also gotta work on ourselves. We can't just be like, and I'm going to manifest a warm blood from Germany, and then just leave it and just be like, well, if it happens, it happens. Like, no. That's great. Set the goal, set the intention, put it out there to the universe. But then you gotta work for it. You gotta work towards it. You gotta make that inspired action to help bring that into your life. You have to become that person. So I want you to think about who that person is. Let's say your goal is to import a horse. Well, what are you going to need to import a horse? What are you going to need to do as a rider once you have this horse? Because let's face it, that the horse is usually the cheap part. I wish it wasn't, but the horse is usually the cheap part of the whole thing. So what do you need to do as a rider once you have this? And then where are you going to be able to go from that? Because yeah, it's so easy to be like, I want to make millions of dollars, but how are you going to spend that? What are you going to do with it? For me, it was like, yes, I want to become an equestrian mindset coach. I want to make X amount a year, and here's how I'm going to spend it. And I have made myself a budget for that version of myself because I know she is coming, and I'm so excited to meet her when that happens. But I need you to be honest with yourself and be like, am I the person that's going to accomplish my goals? And I'll be honest with you, every time I ask this question, more often than not, the answer is no. The answer is no, I'm not that person. And a lot of times you're like, I don't even know how to become that person. I know I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, how does one become a mindset coach? Literally Google how to become mindset coach, search. That's how I started. That's where all this came from. I was like, internet, help. So if you're like, okay, maybe you want to go professional, how to be a professional horse trainer, search. Are there certifications you're going to need? Is there a facility you're going to need? How do you build that client list? How do you market? These are all different things you have to ask yourself, and you're going to have to learn and grow and step into. And it's okay if you don't have all the answers. You're not going to. You're going to continue to learn and you're going to continue to grow, but you have to be honest with yourself to become the type of person that's going to accomplish your goal. Now, I know this podcast episode is a little deep sometimes. You're like, whoa, I came on here to be inspired and motivated and feel good as a rider. And now I feel awful because I'm not the person that's going to accomplish my goals. That was not my intention. I don't want you to leave this feeling awful. What I want you to do is take that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm not that person, and be like, I'm not that person yet. You're not that person yet, because you can be. It's gonna take some work and it's gonna take some time. So if you have the ability to either pause this podcast episode or open up your notes app while it's been running and write down how you can become that person. Now, if you're driving, don't do that. Just keep driving. Just think about it if you want. You can do it when you get home or wherever you're going, or come back and listen to this. If you're driving, don't write and drive. Don't text and drive. Be safe. You know, if you have the little voice to text, I can't stop you. I have it too and I love it. But be safe and be lovely and just reflect on who that future person is, because I'm sure they are absolutely amazing. And I'm excited to meet them. I'm sure you're excited to meet them. So I hope you've enjoyed this podcast episode today. I hope you've got a little nugget of knowledge on where you could go with your goals if you are ready for that. Now, if you're not ready for that, I have some other equestrian podcast episodes that might help you with some goal setting and shifting that negative mindset. Or I even have a new course called The Motivated Equestrian, where we're going to dive a little bit deeper into some of those negative mindset, how we can shift that, and how we can build a solid foundation moving forward so that we can be the type of equestrian where we can feel confident about our goals and reach for those things that we want to do. And I'm so excited to have launched that course. I have also launched, I've just been a really busy person here lately. I have also launched a new equestrian community. You can also join over on my website called The Empowered Equestrians. And in this community, you're going to get behind the scenes of the mare mentality. You can get access to every equestrian course that's going to be posted. My goal is to do ad-free podcast episodes over there. And it's just a great community. We do monthly challenges. I've got different circles where we can talk about things like Q&A, equestrian tips and tricks. We have one for just celebrations. If something exciting happened, you can post about it and be like, I did this. And we can be like, you did that? Like, oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I'm still building out different circles in the community. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know over on my social media or come join us. You can check out the link. It's going to be in the show notes description, whatever your platform supports. Please come join us. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. It starts at the price of a cup of coffee. So yeah, that's pretty much our trade-off. I'm like, get a cup of coffee, come grow your mindset. Like, I would sacrifice a cup of coffee for my mindset. So come join us. It's super exciting. And I want you to continue to embrace becoming that person who's going to accomplish your goals. I hope you all have enjoyed this podcast episode. I am going to leave this here, but until next time, wait, I didn't ask you to like the episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, I would love if you could like it, subscribe, leave a rating, whatever your platform does. They all do so many different things. I feel like I need to get a solid closing and be like, this is how we show the podcast some love. But show the podcast some love if you enjoyed the episode. It would mean a lot to me. So I'm gonna leave this here, and until next time, I will see you later, lovelies.